In the late 18th century, a profound clash unfolded on the American frontier, significantly shaping the future of a burgeoning nation and the indigenous peoples who resisted its expansionist ambitions. This pivotal conflict, known as the Northwest Indian War, arose at the intersection of intricate historical forces, where the aspirations of the nascent United States collided with the unwavering resistance of Native American tribes in the Northwest Territory. Following the American Revolution, the United States forged agreements with Native American nations in the northwestern lands, establishing fragile boundaries. However, as the U.S. continued its relentless push westward, tensions escalated. The roots of these problems can be traced back to events like Pontiac's Rebellion and the Proclamation of 1763, which significantly altered the dynamics of relationships between Native Americans and the United States during the Revolutionary period. In this captivating video curated by Native German, we invite you to embark on a journey back in time as we unravel the story of the Northwest Indian War. We will illuminate the causes, key players, and critical engagements that transpired in this tumultuous era. The echoes of this conflict resonate throughout history, shaping the trajectory of U.S. Native American relations and leaving an indelible mark on the westward expansion that would come to define the American experience. Before diving into the gripping details, we encourage you to show your support by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for exclusive access to a wealth of insightful videos. The Northwest Indian War, also known as the Little Turtle War, spanned from 1785 to 1795 and was a crucial confrontation between the newly established United States and a coalition of indigenous tribes in the Northwest Territory. This contested region, which includes present-day Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, and parts of Minnesota, became a hotbed of conflict due to overlapping territorial claims stemming from the American Revolutionary War. The origins of this conflict can be traced back to the Treaty of Paris in 1783, which officially ended the Revolutionary War and defined the boundaries of the newly independent United States. However, ambiguities within the treaty led to disputes over control of the Northwest Territory, as both the U.S. and various Native American nations, including the Shawnee, Miami, and Delaware, laid claim to the area. As American settlers pushed further west into this territory, tensions intensified. Influential leaders such as Little Turtle of the Miami and Blue Jacket of the Shawnee emerged, spearheading the resistance against encroachment on their lands and the existential threat to their traditional way of life. Cultural misunderstandings, economic pressures, and escalating hostilities further fueled this conflict. The Treaty of Paris, signed on September 3, 1783, marked the official conclusion of the American Revolutionary War between Great Britain and the newly formed United States. This landmark treaty had far-reaching implications for territorial claims and reshaped the geopolitical landscape of North America. It recognized the independence of the United States, establishing it as a sovereign nation free from British rule. This newfound independence paved the way for the U.S. to assert its territorial claims without British interference. While the treaty outlined specific boundaries between the United States and British North America, designating the Mississippi River as the western boundary and the Great Lakes as the northern boundary, it failed to adequately address the interests and territories of Native American nations, resulting in significant uncertainties and disputes over land ownership. As both British and American settlers pushed westward, Native American communities found themselves under increasing pressure, setting the stage for future conflicts such as the Northwest Indian War. The economic ambitions of American settlers, fueled by land speculation and a thirst for fertile soil, directly conflicted with the interests of Native American tribes, who depended on traditional hunting grounds for their survival. This clash of aspirations created a volatile atmosphere, as settlers attempted to establish farms and towns on lands that were vital to Native American livelihoods. In the lead-up to the Battle of Fallen Timbers, the Northwest Territory had already experienced two unsuccessful American military expeditions. General Josiah Harmer's campaign in 1790 and General Arthur St. Clair's expedition in 1791 both failed to quell the growing unrest. St. Clair's encounter at the Battle of the Wabash was particularly disastrous, resulting in a significant Indian victory and heavy losses for U.S. troops. In response to the escalating tensions, President George Washington appointed General Anthony Wayne, affectionately known as Mad Anthony, for his daring success in storming a British fort during the Revolutionary War, as the commander of the newly established Legion of the United States in 1792. This formidable legion, consisting of 5,190 soldiers, was organized into 4 sub-legions, each comprising various types of troops and weaponry. Recognizing the pitfalls of deploying untrained soldiers in battle, General Wayne dedicated nearly 2 years to transforming these troops into a disciplined and effective fighting force. By the fall of 1793, the Legion was prepared for action, capable of operating both collaboratively and independently. Their campaign began along the Ohio River, moving from Legionville to Fort Washington in Ohio. As they advanced northward, they constructed forts along their route. In December 1793, they initiated a fort recovery operation at the site of a previous defeat. While some soldiers remained at the newly established fort, the majority settled in for the winter at Fort Greenville. General Wayne paused further movement until spring, hindered by inclement weather and desertions within his ranks. In contrast, Little Turtle, a prominent leader of the Miami tribe, emerged as a key figure in the Native American resistance against U.S. expansion. He displayed exceptional military skill, leading his forces to decisive victories in early encounters with American expeditions, notably at the Battle of Harmer's defeat in 1790. Simultaneously, Blue Jacket, a Shawnee chief, rose to prominence as a dynamic and influential leader within the Western Confederacy. He played a crucial role in forging alliances among various Native American tribes, promoting unity in the face of the common threat posed by U.S. expansion. Together with Little Turtle and other tribal leaders, Blue Jacket effectively coordinated military strategies, pooling resources and intelligence to mount a robust resistance against American incursions. Adapting their tactics to the region's dense forests and open prairies, the Native American leaders employed guerrilla warfare techniques to counter the more conventional strategies of the U.S. military. Under Blue Jacket's cunning leadership, approximately 1,500 Indian warriors set a clever ambush for the advancing American Legion. They chose a strategic location along the expected route, positioning themselves for a surprise attack amidst a cluster of fallen trees left by a recent tornado. This natural barrier was intended to create a challenging obstacle for the approaching U.S. troops. On August 19, U.S. scouts detected activity among the Native Americans in a nearby clearing. The following day, despite experiencing desertions that reduced his ranks, General Wayne decided to lead his roughly 3,300-strong force toward the anticipated location of the Northwest Indian Army. With reinforcements from Kentucky Volunteer Cavalry, Wayne organized his troops meticulously, placing infantry in 2 wings, the Kentucky Cavalry on the left, and dragoons on the right, all while hugging the Maumee River. Both sides faced challenges as they were not at full strength. Some Native American warriors had left to forage for food on the morning of the battle. Around 9 a.m., the remaining 1,100 Native American warriors formed loose lines facing west. Upon spotting the U.S. vanguard, they launched their attack. The dense forest made it difficult for both sides to maintain their formations. Recognizing the limitations of cavalry in such thick terrain, General Wayne commanded his infantry to charge with bayonets. Expecting the Indian warriors to retreat, Wayne's prediction proved accurate as the Northwest Indians quickly fell back, attempting to press Wayne's flanks but ultimately failing in their efforts. Once the Indian warriors moved away from the fallen trees, Wayne unleashed his mounted forces, prompting a rapid retreat from the Native Americans. In less than an hour, the battle was decisively concluded. The surviving Indians sought refuge at a nearby fort, but they were turned away by the British garrison commander, who wanted to avoid any trouble with the Americans. With British support no longer available, the Northwest Indian Confederation disintegrated, marking the end of their resistance in the Northwest Territory. The Native American Confederation suffered significant casualties during the Battle of Fallen Timbers. Wayne's tactics, which included a bayonet charge and the strategic deployment of cavalry, forced the indigenous forces into a hasty retreat. This decisive victory opened the door for the signing of the Treaty of Greenville in 1795. Key Native American leaders, including Little Turtle and Blue Jacket, agreed to cede substantial portions of present-day Ohio and parts of Indiana to the United States. In exchange for these land cessions, the U.S. promised various goods, annual annuities, and a one-time payment to the Native American nations. The treaty established a boundary line known as the Greenville Treaty Line, which stretched from Fort Recovery on the Maumee River to the site of Fort Lawrence on the Tuscarawas River. This demarcation aimed to separate Native American lands from U.S. territories. With the acquisition of vast tracts of land through the treaty, the United States solidified its control over the Northwest Territory, paving the way for increased settlement and economic development. The signing of the Treaty of Greenville had profound implications, allowing white settlers to expand into the Ohio country and further displacing native nations to the west. Ohio, having gained statehood just 8 years later, became the 17th state in the Union. Despite the initial restrictions on white settlement in the northwest corner of Ohio outlined in the treaty, these prohibitions were short-lived. Regrettably, the Treaty of Greenville exemplifies a troubling pattern in the series of agreements between the United States and native nations that were frequently disregarded by white settlers. As the westward movement continued amid a growing U.S. population, this pattern of non-compliance with negotiated terms became increasingly evident. The Battle of Tippecanoe was a pivotal engagement fought on November 7, 1811, near the Tippecanoe River in present-day Indiana. This conflict arose from escalating tensions between American settlers, led by Governor William Henry Harrison, and Native American tribes, particularly those in the Northwest Territory. The Native Confederation, often associated with Shawnee leader Tecumseh and his brother Tenskwatawa, known as the Prophet, sought to resist further encroachment on their ancestral lands. Faced with determined opposition, Governor Harrison took charge, leading approximately 1,000 soldiers and militiamen to dismantle the Shawnee village of Prophet's Town. This village, established by Tecumseh as the heart of a new Native American confederacy, was about to face a critical test. On the evening of November 6, 1811, Harrison was unexpectedly met with a white flag waved by one of Tenskwatawa's followers, seeking a ceasefire. They proposed a meeting between Harrison and Tecumseh before any conflict erupted. However, this proposition meant a delay, as Tecumseh was away recruiting warriors from the 5 civilized tribes, who were grappling with similar land issues. As dawn broke the next morning, Harrison's troops found themselves encircled by Tenskwatawa's warriors. The native warriors cleverly initiated a diversionary attack on the northern flank of the American formation, triggering the first shots of the battle and rousing Harrison's still sleeping forces into action. A relentless assault on the southern flank caused Spencer's Yellowjackets to falter and retreat, with Captain Spencer and 2 commanding lieutenants falling victim to the onslaught of native warriors. Amidst the chaos, Governor Harrison managed to restore order by repositioning Captain David Robb and the Indiana Mounted Rifles from the northern flank to bolster the beleaguered southern side. Reluctantly, the warriors withdrew, granting Harrison's men the opportunity to fortify their defenses and regain control. In the aftermath, Governor Harrison declared a significant victory, claiming it enhanced his reputation, though there is limited evidence to substantiate this assertion. While Tenskwatawa's supporters attempted to rebuild their village, Harrison ordered its destruction once again on November 19, 1812. A crucial turning point occurred on October 5, 1813, when Tecumseh was killed by Harrison's forces during the Battle of the Thames. Despite a promise in the Treaty of Ghent to protect indigenous rights, the Americans chose to disregard this commitment, further exacerbating tensions between the U.S. government and native nations. Unfortunately, any hopes for an indigenous homeland in the Northwest were shattered by 1815, marking a disheartening conclusion to the events set in motion by Harrison's claims and subsequent actions. In the aftermath of the Northwest Indian War, the U.S. government began implementing policies to concentrate Native American populations onto designated reservations. This represented a significant shift in how native lands were managed, further curtailing their autonomy and self-governance. The grievances stemming from the Northwest Indian War laid the foundation for ongoing hostilities between Native American tribes and the U.S. government. This cycle of conflict persisted throughout the 19th century, leading to events such as the Indian Removal Act and the Trail of Tears. Despite their resilience, Native American communities faced profound challenges during this period. The loss of ancestral lands, disruptions to traditional ways of life, and the devastating consequences of armed conflicts took a severe toll. These challenges reverberated through generations, shaping the ongoing struggles faced by indigenous communities in the wake of westward expansion. We invite you to share your thoughts with us in the comment section below, and don't hesitate to hit the like and subscribe buttons to show your unwavering support. Thank you for watching.